Hello everybody, Bubbles here and welcome back to HOI4. In today's video we're going to be doing a guide to the achievements. This achievement is cheesy as a Pagan Latvia. So let's get started. First things first, research slots. Our only speciality here today will be transport ships. From here it's standard electronics, industry and so on. For our civs, we're just going to be building mills. And for our mills and dockyards, let's just build convoys and guns. For the army, let's gather it all up and disband it. And that is pretty much all of our prep out the way. So all that's left to do is our focus, suspend the Constitution of Latvia, go up to speed 5, and begin. And next up, let us empower the militarists. We also have 142 political power, which is more than enough for the military high command, so let's go for the infantry experts. We have no need for any actual advisors right now, so we may as well go for some XP gain. And now it's a Latvia for Latvians. We've got to make our way down to things like the lightning strikes as soon as possible, so we're rushing down quickly. I mean, that's generally the case in HOI4, isn't it? It's better to rush things that make you the most powerful than it is to, I don't know, rush industry sometimes. Another 100 political power, the army offense guy. Now it's time for us to get some fanatics on board. Oh yeah, you see all of these decisions? We're not going to be doing any of them. There's no need. We've gotten the fanatics, and now let's lift the ban on the Perkin crusts. Which almost sounds like a pizza. I know I've probably said that wrong, but I'm sorry, that's the first thing that came into my head. Sounds like a pizza. We are really stacking that military high command, aren't we? Oh well, let's go for our third member now, the entrenchment guy. Never would have hired such a person before No Step Back, but he gives XP, so more than good enough in my books. 0.27 XP a day before 37. Only countries like Germany could probably compete with that. Anyway, speaking of the military, let's do a Latvian military complex. We're going to have to schmoozy up with Germany anyway, so let's join the anti-Comintern pack. Next up from the Latvian military complex is the Old Ways, all alone in the moonlight. Oh wait, no, wrong reference. Oh no, because we failed to keep the support for the Perkin crusts under 55%, a Latvian civil war has started. But stronger Latvia it is. Right, let's win this. Division designer, create new, empty. Infantry battalion, infantry, saved. How many of those can we afford? Looks like 14. Pretty good. Max priority, deploy as soon as possible. Next, since we are now fascist, let's go over to Italy. They will accept military access and a non-aggression pact from them. Let's get them. Now let's create a massive deficit with some other templates. 3,000. Oh no, it's even bigger than that. 6,000. Now Italy, can you help us? Of course Italy can. 2,000 non-core equipment. Very good. Now let's wait for our troops to train up and we'll run down the other Latvia. Right, this shouldn't be hard at all. We'll just wait a day for Org and run down the victory points. No field marshal here. Let's go for this infantry officer ranger. I guess if we had a field marshal, we lost him when Latvia erupted into flames. And without a fight, it is over. I potentially could have held out for a few more days to get another release from Italy, but it probably wouldn't have been worth it. The other Latvia did put out some templates that probably would have been quite hard to beat. So, that went pretty well in my opinion. Next up, we are going to be spamming as many as these Infantry 1 template units as we can. From what I know about the lightning strikes, it takes into account how many units you have. So if we can get as many units as we can, we might be able to get Lithuania and Estonia for free. So, again, we're just going to spam as many of these as we can. I'd say 120 at minimum. That's why getting those 2,000 guns from Italy is really going to come in helpful. It's going to halve our false deficit. As I said, today we're going to be doing state paganism, and the only way we're going to be doing that is via the Thunder Roars alone. We are definitely in need of more manpower, so let's go to extensive now. It's funny, we look like we have a lot of units, but we only have 85k men in the field. I guess this will be the ultimate Baltic bluff. Right, let's just free the Ergen crusts. More units. It's weird how many of the more recent trees and like No Step Back come with free units. Because I know the Baltic ones do, I believe Poland's does in somewhere. It's just a funny little trend I've noticed. And now it's time for lightning to strike against Lithuania and Estonia. We will demand their annexation. These are what the Jürgen crust looks like, by the way. They're pretty big. And there we go, 120 divisions. Anyway, next up I'm going to choose a doctrine. You know what, I'm going to do something different. We've never done mass assault as far as I know on this channel. We've done every other doctrine, so I think it's time for mass assault to have a try. If I was doing this properly, quote unquote, I'd probably do something like superior firepower or hell, grand battle plan. But, may as well switch it up. So the unique spirit of the academy that comes with this is the Queen of the Battle. Not bad, but I'd probably go for something like inventive leadership. Right, let's park our units on the respective borders, just in case there's any funny business. 3 armies against Lithuania, 2 against Estonia. That should do. So, what do they choose? They haven't chose sensibly. Very well. So be it. Next up, Dev's Keepers. Let's go and get them. We are definitely more than strong enough. Let's do this. Dual Declaration. Look at how weak Lithuania's units are. These units might be rubbish, but on aggressive, we will almost certainly push most of them out of the way. And hey, we get a lot more XP doing this. But let's rush. Let's try and get Memel. Oh, Estonia has left this tile empty. Well, I'm not going to complain, I'm going to walk right around them. Oh, a little encirclement. Don't mind if I do. It was so weird pushing units away with just 2 whips. Anyway, rushing for Estonia's victory points right now. And there we go, a massive encirclement assured. AI, when will you learn? We don't care about pins anymore. We know how to beat them. I think for Lithuania, we just need this victory point now. And Navarra has been left open for us. Well, don't mind if I do. And we have 20 XP, so inventive leadership. Let's get our final generals. Oh, look at that! A brilliant strategist and an inflexible strategist. And a trickster. Probably the best role I've ever gotten. Damn, what a good general. I'd almost want to make him the field marshal if I didn't already have one. Did we get lucky on the second try? No, but we got human perfection in the form of Arnold's... that. And there goes both Lithuania and Estonia at the same moment. Wow. Well, that went much better than I expected. I mean, we didn't get them via the event, but we got them fairly quickly if I don't say so myself. And now it's time for us to unify the Baltics. Ah, so much more manpower, so much more factories. Great. We probably should reorganize this army, so I'm going to delete these 3 armies. We don't need them anymore. They did their duty. We've kept around human perfection and the other army. We'll make this our primary attack force, I think. Anyway, it's probably time for us to reorganize our military-industrial complex. So let's limit the production of guns for the moment and build some support equipment and some artillery. 2, 5, the rest. And I'm also going to switch up convoys for the Ronis class. Well, that was really unexpected. I honestly thought we were screwed and I'd have to restart. Better to not restart, isn't it? Didn't actually take us that long, it only took us like 20 days as well. Got us a small but good amount of XP. I'd say the downside is we didn't get all of their stockpiles, we got half of their stockpiles. But oh well, we can manage, I'm sure. I should have actually done something like Lend-Lease with Italy, because that would have been really useful. Oh well, regrets afterwards are common, isn't it? And here I can finally create that intelligence agency. Alright, that's enough of the political tree for now. Let's go down to something like Baltic trade. So next up, rejoin the railways. This tree is alright, because we get 4 free civs, 2 free dockyards, some steel. It's all pretty nice. Definitely time for war economy, I think. Still going to be building more mills for the moment. Definitely want to have good production of most things, especially when we change the army over. Speaking of which, let's create our ideal template. This is our standard infantry, which is alright, but it can definitely be a lot better. So, 1 more infantry, 1 artillery, support artillery, saved. And let's change all units that we can over to that. We could probably get more manpower as it mobilises. Or we could always just go to service by requirement. There we go. So, what's our deficit like? Not bad, actually. Let's also research engineers, so we can have a good support company. First Admiral also got us this. Bold. Nice. Getting very lucky with our rolls today. I'm going to send an attaché to Japan. Not as useful as it used to be, but it still gives a good amount of XP. After I built this last mill, I'm going to start building some dockyards so we can get a few more subs out. We're going to need it. Thank goodness we have a lot of coastal slots, eh? Here, don't have a choice. Service by requirement time. It's good that Latvia starts with these bathtubs, isn't it? They're so cheap. 390. That's as cheap as it gets. That's enough economy stuff for now. Let's continue to upgrade ourselves. So let's finally do state paganism. 10% extra org is nice, but... I don't know. I think the main attraction down here is actually the Wrath of the Old Gods. Look at that. Extra DRR, generate war goal tension limit, justify war goal time. I guess they all add up to being alright. I was thinking about adding engineers to these divisions, but it doesn't look like I can afford it. Oh well, it's a minor loss. With not much more to do now until the war starts, I guess we should do some Actis investments. And hey, 10% free output. Oh yeah, Germany hasn't demanded Memel off us, although they clearly have done assert Eastern claims. Oh well, that's not our problem. I like having Memel. Gives us more recruitable population and extra civ. Well, at least that gives us an opinion boost. Now we can finally hire an advisor, and this is what we got. To be honest, no one's really worth it. It is funny seeing Vidas Latches here though. I find it weird that Latvia doesn't have a silent workforce for this path. The democratic path kind of does, but this one doesn't. Alright, Molotov-Ribbentrop. Danziger War 70 days out. And this also means the Soviets have a claim. So we basically have to get into the Axis if we want to stay safe. May as well go for the elusive gentleman. I'm spying on Sweden so we can have a tiny little benefit. How dare they indeed? Oh well, some communist support is coming in. And it has begun. Let us immediately get a justification on France. We're getting involved as soon as possible. 35 days? Alright. Next up, we're going to plan our naval invasion against Sweden. We're going to be going for this southern port right here. So 5 naval invasions around it to support it. And as you can see here, the Soviets are now justifying on us. This means we must get into the Axis as soon as possible, otherwise we're a bit screwed. Still though, we have 175 days to do it, which should be enough. Right, let's get started. Declared, and now since we're at War of a Major, we should get cheap war goals in Sweden. Yep, there we go, 10 days. Now Germany, let me into the Axis. Great. That now allows us to do Ostland. Well, at least for a moment we will control Vilnius. The Molotov-Ribbentrop pack will fire and we will have to give it away. Anyway, Navy on strike force in the lower Baltic Sea. We should be able to get a supremacy at least for a second or two. Wow, we're already down to either mass mobilization or deep battle. Well, I think I want that supply reduction. Right, justifications ready. Naval invasions, go. Let's declare on them. Great, we did leave immediately. Since Germany is now going after the Benelux, this should be pretty easy. The air will be very well spread out. And yes, we will honour Molotov. Oh wow, the port wasn't even defended, although we do coincidentally get an interception on the unit that was going to the ports. Very coincidental, don't you think? But oh well, we made landfall. Let's get Sweden. We need to get pretty much all of the southern victory points, so probably all the way up to this naval base. That shouldn't be too hard. Next step, Malmo and Gothenburg, I think. Wow, this has gone quicker than I expected. We're already in Stockholm. Let's see if we can't encircle most of Sweden's army. Britain has arrived with a medium tank, but we're about to push them out of Gothenburg. So maybe we could encircle that as well. That could be useful. And we just encircled them. 3 units. Not many, but enough. And now Sweden is basically cut off from the rest of the Allies. Are we being naval invaded? Yes, we are. Really bad time to do that, Sweden, considering you are basically being capitulated. Oh well, we can leave this to our allies to clean up. And down goes Sweden. Ironically, the capital is now in our territory. Oh well, they'll be flushed out soon enough. And as soon as we form Ostland, that's the achievement, because we control Lapland. But I think we can go further than that, don't you think? Why don't we take aim at someone else? The land of Cheddar and Wensleydale. Yep, we're going to try and capitulate the United Kingdom as well. Let's get them. I'm not going to be trying to do something like where we encircle London for war score today. The main thing here is just to capitulate them, which we should definitely be able to do. Alright, let's shuffle the army over. It's still going to be a standard invasion of the UK though. 5 naval invasions around Newcastle and Hull. My favourite. We've done this so quickly, Germany hasn't even done Operation Weiserberg yet. I guess if you're in a game where Germany has, you could help them take Copenhagen. Just as France falls, let's activate our naval invasions. North Sea, Eastern North Sea. Unfortunately, yellow supremacy here. Oh well, it's RNG anyway, whether or not we get it, so might have to wait a little while. But in the positives, we just got the achievement. We, as Latvia, have formed Ostland and we control Lapland. Very nice. But now let's see if we can't go even further than that. And there we go, our invasions have just left. Great. Annoyingly being intercepted by the Netherlands. I bet you any money that the unit that's being intercepted is one that's going directly to a port. Wow, I'm actually surprised for once. How defended is the UK? Doesn't look like it's very defended. We only need to break one tile. Really bad idea to be attacking that unit, considering I was not about to break Newcastle. But thank you very much. There we go, just got it. And it looks like we're about to lose Newcastle. Oh well, this will still be enough. Let's go get them. Again, I'm just trying to capitulate the UK today. Anything else is a secondary goal. We need to be careful. The last thing we want is countries like the Raj, Canada to become majors. So we need to take the UK slowly and steady. Well, we are now in London. Not what I intended, but whatever. I still intended to encircle it, but whatever. Already we have 23% of the war score, more than Italy, so at least we won't be leaving the peace deal completely empty-handed. You know the UK's in a rough spot when their capital is now Birmingham. Only 2% to go. It's actually something like Bristol or Cardiff, actually. And that's that! Great. No extra majors, no nothing, we are done. Perfect. If somehow you have a situation where someone like Germany controls Lapland, this is the point where you take it. They wouldn't prioritise it in the peace deal initially. But as we have already gotten the achievement, may as well just puppet Sweden, you know. Somewhere cheap. Which is Gotland, funnily enough. And there, we can give them their stuff later. But there's no real specialities here today for the peace deal, which is unusual for me. So, I'll do something that looks good, I suppose. I took 33 states, Germany took 65, and Slovakia took 1. Did Italy get anything? Nope. Me and Germany basically took absolutely everything. Italy fought for absolutely nothing. Although for some reason they're at war with Norway. Why is it? So Germany did declare on Norway, but didn't take anything? What, did the wars not merge properly or something? I know, that's a common glitch. I don't know, but I think I got a good deal. I got the Suez, I got some of the Dutch East Indies, I got the British Empire as a puppet, I got a load of extra resources, I now have 1 million manpower from non-core manpower alone, which is insane. But alright, I think this is where we're going to be calling this. This has been a fun, interesting time as Pagan Latvia. It's definitely an interesting Baltic path, but it ends very suddenly, doesn't it? Because you get to the wrath of the old gods, take paganism, and then it's just war goals. I don't know, it feels like this could be a tiny bit more expansive. I don't know. And there are just some like weird things about this focus sheet that I've noticed. That the fact that you can go down the Perkin cross and still do anti-German propaganda, what's the point of that? And no, I'm not doing a what's the point episode on this. It wouldn't be an interesting episode. But all in all, for a Baltic focus tree, it's alright. I mean, it's definitely better than using the generic tree like I did in that Latvian video several months ago now, isn't it? But alright, we secured the achievement, we're done. So, I thank you for watching, I do hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments below for future video ideas, I'm always looking for them. However, until we meet again, this has been me, Baltics, who now has to prepare for a Soviet onslaught. So if you don't mind me, I'm going to be parking on the Soviet border and await the inevitable. However, until we meet again, goodbye.